Hey guys. Hey, what's up? I'm now live on YouTube. Let me sort out my Instagram peeps. Start. All right. So, hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. You can let me know where you are joining me from. So, all right, cool. YouTube is fine. Instagram, hey guys, what's up? I'm hoping that you guys are fine. Happy Sunday. Wow. So, saying that to say, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know when you're where you're tuning in from, and also if you can hear me clearly. I mean, I have a fan right here because the place is so hot. So I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that you can hear me clearly. And thing, right? We have a lot to discuss tonight, so I hope you ready with your pens and your your notepads, or like, I mean, if you want to text, I mean, of course, do your thing. Right? So for those of you who are new here, welcome to the Digital Dominator Loft. I am Charmian-Marie. I am a brand and business coach, and yeah, I wear other hats too, but for hey, for the purposes of tonight, let's just chill out as me being your brand and business coach. And yeah, let's just have a discussion. I want to make sure that we all feel empowered to, thrive digitally, right? So tonight we are going to be discussing, the 5 key things for your business foundation, and I want to make sure that, you leave here feeling a lot clearer about what really makes up your business foundation, right? So yeah, we have a lot to discuss, right? So, and if you have any questions, of course, drop them, because I mean, of course, that helps to enrich the discussion. And if it is that you're watching the replay, no problem, drop them same way. Would love to, answer your questions and stuff, right? So, hey, alrighty. So with that said, now I am gonna go ahead and just jump on in. I don't wanna, prolong things more than they need to be. All right. So again, the 5 key things for your business foundation, right? All right. So first and foremost, I need to make sure that we remember that as a business owner, we need to remember 2 things primarily. Right. We need to remember the problem and we need to remember the solution. Sounds simple, happy, happy, joy, joy, but a lot of times you find that, a lot of businesses, get so carried away with all the marketing and all these things that they forget the root of everything, right? Hey, let me know where you're joining me from, and, if you have a business already or anything like that, all right? And remember, you can definitely join in on the discussion if you have any questions or anything, all right? So saying that to say, it is always important for us to remember the problem as well as the solution, right? But of course, that's not the end all. If you remember those 2 things, like, we need to implement things in between the two. Of course, there's a problem and whatever, and then there's a journey towards, reaching the solution. So let's talk about that, right? So the first key for your business foundation, right, is to understand your business core. And funny enough, I did discuss this in one of my previous episodes of the Digital Dominator Lab. So you can watch it, after, we come off this live tonight. But let's go right back over it a little bit now. So there are 3 key elements of your business core in relation to the understanding the problem and the solution. All right, nice to have you here, Linworth. All right, cool. So first and foremost, you need to understand the problem, right? I mean, fine, we already established that there is a problem, but like, let's actually understand it. Let's unpack the problem. What is it that, why is it even a problem? What is it that, that is causing this problem to really affect, other person? Why is this a problem in totality? You get me? So it's important for you to be able to unpack that, because when you unpack the problem, that's when you're best able to, figure out how best you can solve the problem. You get what I'm saying? So that moves now to recognizing who actually has the problem, right? Now, in recognizing who has the problem, that of course is code for establishing your target audience, establishing your niche and all of that, of course, by now you should know that your niche, hey, you should know that your niche comes from your target audience, or it is a section or a sect of your target audience and everything. But yeah, with that said, who are the persons who are truly affected by this problem that you say that you want to solve? You get me? And it's important for you to identify that, because that is now what influences language. That's what influences how you show up. Hey, Chanel, how you show up and how you coin certain messages, and even how you design, like everything. It influences a whole lot of the things for your business and your brand. So it's important for you to recognize who has that problem, right? So then with that said, no, remember we said the first thing for the business core is understanding the problem. The second thing, no, as I said, recognizing who has the problem. Hey, Dion. And then the third thing, no, you also want to know, all right, cool. Yeah, how can I solve the problem? So my business exists, which is beautiful, fabulous. You see what I mean? What is the solution that I provide that solves that specific problem, right? So I mean, guys, yeah, this nice business core, it sounds nice and pretty simple, right? Three simple steps: understanding the problem, understanding who's affected by the problem, and understanding how you solve the problem. Beautiful, right? But then, guys, it doesn't end there. Like, a lot of persons feel that it just ends with that identification, and then that is where or one of the stages that they get stuck. You get me? So let's actually dive deeper into number 2, the second key, for actually your business foundation, and that's understanding your brand, right? Now, remember, we already established those 3 points for the business, but then no, you want to take it a step further with your brand by letting people know who is a problem solver. And I say who because, I mean, fine, it's not every business that has a personal brand, and a personal brand, quick and fast, is more like the one-on-one, for solopreneurs primarily, where you take a more personalized approach to the branding process, where people interact with you as the business and brand, versus like a corporate entity where it is a full entity that has multiple stakeholders and all of that. Right? Thanks, Chanel. So with that said, no. So in you want to let people know who is the problem solver. So if it's a corporate entity, that corporate entity would represent the who, right? If it's a solopreneur and it's a personal brand, you then represent the who, right? So you want people to get to know who solves a problem, right? And then no, from that, no, you are literally going to pile on top of what? Hey, hey, Alex. Right. So on top of that, now you are then going to go into the place of saying, all right, cool. Now that I'm helping you to understand who is the problem solver and stuff, I still need to make sure that you know that I understand the problem, and that I understand who has the problem, like who the problem is affecting. And I want you to understand that I know how to solve the problem. Because if it is, if it is that people don't know who you are, like for real, if they don't feel like they can relate or anything like that, do you think they're really gonna make that investment? Think about it, right? If it is that they feel like you don't understand the problem itself, do you think they're gonna invest? If it is that they don't think that you understand who has the problem, like who is being affected by the problem, then do you think they're gonna invest? Or do you think that if they don't feel like you understand, or you have explicitly explained how you solve the problem, again, are they going to invest? No. So with that said, when you highlight again who you are and stuff, and allow people into your space and stuff, and I mean, I'm not saying that you need to let them know all details of your life and stuff, but at the same time, people want to journey with you. People want to understand that, all right, cool, they can trust you. You always hear about the know, like, and trust factor or whatever. It's a real thing, whether it's a solopreneur brand or a corporate brand. You get me? Exactly. Clarity is absolutely important, both for yourself as the business owner, as well as persons who are looking on and seeing, all right, cool, whether or not they even feel like you know your stuff. You get me? Because our reality is that, especially in this online space, there are a lot of people out there who claim to know things, and you get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, allow yourself to stand out, because you know your things. You get me? And so make sure that you're able to stand in that clarity and stand in that confidence. You get me? So far, we've discussed 2 of the 5 keys, right? So with that said, those 2 so far are having a solid business core, right? And then also having a solid brand core, right? So next thing now, we're going to talk about our offers. All right. So recently I was actually talking to a client, and most of my clients go through the process of, my dominating digital webinar. It's my freebie actually. where it allows you to break down your personal brand and thing, right? And our reality is that one of the clients were going through it, and then I made sure she knew that the solution itself is completely different from the offer. The solution, funny enough, okay, no problem, Dion. Yeah, man, I'll be saving it. But thanks for joining. Right. So with that said, so the solution itself is completely different from the offer. And it's so important for you to recognize that, because people feel that all right, cool, fine, you're providing the solution to the problem and everything. But then how are you applying all of that? How are you like bringing them from point A to point B, right? What are the things that you'll be incorporating to help them to, no problem, Dion. What are the things that you'll be incorporating to help them to really get the type of transformation that you want to promise, right? And that's where the offer that you build out actually comes in, right? That's where the overall offer comes in. So that's where I know, like, a lot of the persons you see promoting online will possibly be saying, hey, all right, cool, you get 5 calls, you get courses, you get what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, the solution itself is the direct answer to your problem. So it just means that the offer provides additional elements to help you to get to that destination, to help you to truly get that solution to your problem. All right. And so it's important for us, when we have offers that we're building out, we truly are able to communicate all of that with clarity, right? Because if we're not communicating all of that with clarity, it means that persons will feel like they're left in the dark and will be less likely to invest in you, right? And so I will say, though, for my product-based business owners, though, of course, you guys aren't necessarily having offers, but maybe you might have bundles, maybe you might have sales. And I mean, some of these bundles might be, a lot of different elements that, or products that work together to achieve a certain goal. For instance, like if I'm on my skincare journey. Thanks for the love, guys. I'm on my skincare journey, and a fact is that recently I purchased a set of recently I purchased a set of products that work together to really fix my skin pretty much, because I have acne and eczema and stuff. And our reality is that bundle, all of the products work together, right? So our reality is that because they put these products together, they understand my problem, right, which is the skin stuff or whatever, and they understand that, all right, cool, all of these elements come together to then reach the destination that I want, or reach the solution that I want, which is clearer skin. And I'm telling y'all, just saying, my skin has been clearing up. If you want me to tell you about the products, just saying, just slide into DMs. But saying that to say, guys, like so for my product-based business owners, like the principle is the same. It's just a matter of replacing the fact that I'm talking about offers with actually like products and things that you put together to sell. Right. So with that said, guys, our fact is now, so through your offers now, you let people know, how you solve the problem. You let people know, or you allow them to follow the process from point A to point B in a systematic way, right? And as I speak about systems, that brings me to the next point, but I'm not getting there just yet. But yeah, so make sure that persons are able to understand that, all of the different elements that you're putting into this offer, which is separate from the solution, but is influenced by the solution, will work together for their good. All my Christians here, right? All of the things come together to literally get you to the destination that you want to get to, all right? So with that said, just a little repeat. So remember, I'm discussing tonight 5 key things for your business foundation. And the first thing that I mentioned was your business core, right? And the second thing I mentioned was your brand core. The third thing I just mentioned was, your offers, right? And just how your offers really come together to help persons get clarity about how you solve their problem, right? So then now we're getting into the, something that a lot of people actually hate. And that is actually why they actually struggle in business and run into burnout and all of these things. I speak about logistics, right? Now, and I'll be transparent with you. Like when I just got into business and whatever, I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I mean, I've been working in public relations for 10 years. I've been, into marketing, especially for 7 years, especially digital marketing and, all that. So I'm like, all right, cool. I got this. You get me? I was tired after 5 months. No. Right? Like, and the reality is that like it's because I realized I was trying to do every single thing. So I was trying to send off the emails, I was trying to post all the time, I was doing the most, you get me? And then on top of that, I was still trying to work on the bookkeeping aspect and all of these things. Like there were a lot of things that naturally need to happen for businesses. And especially since I was focusing on just being a solopreneur for the start of my journey, like it was me alone, so it's not even like I could have said, all right, cool, let's delegate this or whatever. Like it was, haha. So saying that to say, I learned it the hard way that, I had to systemize my business overall. And then also in terms of my offers, I needed to make sure that I'm definitely giving my best to my clients and stuff by delivering the information in the most efficient way by you get what I'm saying, like making sure that all the offers that I am promoting are properly systemized so that my clients have the best experience possible, right? And again, I will say I did learn the hard way and stuff, but it's always said that even the things that feel like a failure and stuff definitely set you up for success. And that is how I'm able to stand securely today to be telling you that you need systems, you need to sort out your logistics for your offers and stuff. And no cap on that. You get me? Like you just got to do it. But at the end of the day, I know that as much as it might be agonizing to set up, it will definitely be worth it in the end, right? So I'm saying that to say, so for your logistics, make sure that you not only have logistics or systems set up for your general business, for general operations, you need to zero in and make sure that things are done for your specific offers as well. So that your clients feel supported, so that you don't feel like you're running yourself into the ground, all of these things. You get me? And I will say on top of that, a lot of us business owners get into the the online business space and feel like because it's online, it's easier or whatever. Nothing could be further from the truth. Right? It just happens to be online. So our reality is that it's important for you to be sober about it and make sure that you write down all the different processes that come together and automate as much as you possibly can, so that funny enough, you can buy back your time, you can win back your time as soon as possible, right? So just saying that, right? So that was number 4, right? And then number 5 now, of course, your digital strategy. And maybe this might sound crazy to you or be surprising to you that, hey, like I just mentioned it at the end of this list and stuff, but at the end of the day, guys, like you have a lot of things, hey, you have a lot of things that need to be covered before you even reach digital. You get me? There's so many persons who just jump online, and I mean, great. I will say great. I'm happy that you've taken the step to, just put yourself out there and stuff like that. And they always say that messy action still gets you to the destination. So that's beautiful, right? But at the end of the day, I need to make sure that we do the proper breakdown to recognize that, hey, it doesn't start and end with digital. It doesn't start and end with social media, right? And so your digital strategy now, in terms of the problem and solution vibe that we started with, your digital strategy literally allows you to let people know and strategically position yourself to let people know that, hey, you are the one to work with. You are the one who solves the problem. You are the one who understands the problem. You are the one who, you get what I'm saying? Every single thing that we built on prior to me mentioning the digital strategy, you're letting people know that through your digital strategy, right? And so that's why, your digital strategy ends up being more than hard marketing. And I mean, just a quick rundown: hard marketing versus soft marketing. Hard marketing is like, hey, complete promotions, like it's in your face and all these things. Soft marketing, is like more lifestyle-esque, if you will. Hey, lifestyle-esque meaning, so you might mention a product here or there and stuff. And if people feel inclined, then of course they'll reach out to you, kind of a vibe, versus, oh, come buy this now. So hard marketing, I can say, is directly aligned with, hard sales. And then soft marketing is directly aligned with soft sales, right? But of course, that's for another episode in terms of getting into the nitty-gritty of that. But saying that to say, guys, like just saying, so your digital strategy now, I need to make sure that we make the point or understand the point that, hey, your digital strategy is not your social media strategy. Your social media strategy is a part of your digital strategy, but your digital strategy is it spans way beyond social media. So that means now you're incorporating emails. you're incorporating, your website, you're incorporating more than, your Instagram, more than your TikTok and all of these things. Then you're also making sure you're incorporating your content strategy, all of these things, because guess what? Everything comes together, working in tandem, to make sure that, hey, you are effectively showcasing that, hey, again, you understand the problem, you understand who is affected by the problem, you understand, how, you provide the solution that needs to solve the problem, and all of that, right? So your digital strategy is that vehicle that carries that message to the persons who you would ideally want to work with. And it's important for you to recognize that your digital strategy acts as a vehicle and not the end all of everything, right? So just saying, right? And so I want to give two bonus points actually. Like I was thinking about this today, and just writing down my notes and saying, hey, like I want to go beyond 5, because I'm just the type of coach where I don't believe in just giving you a piece of things. I just want to make sure that you have the information and we can build on that. You get me? So next thing, let's talk about your finances. Guys, when I say talk about your business finances, let me tell you, it's so important for you to have that sorted out for your business foundation. Especially for online business owners, online coaches, online consultants, especially, and product-based businesses. Like you need to have, you need to know your numbers. You need to be tracking everything. So that one, you recognize that, hey, you still need to be paying taxes, in whichever jurisdiction you are in. And two, also, like, you need to know exactly like how much you need to be charging so that you can actually more than break even, but you can make a profit and all of these things. You get me? So like you need to know your numbers. You need to know your numbers so that you're making more informed decisions about your way forward for your business, right? Because if you're not doing that, guys, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. And I don't think you deserve that. You deserve to be able to thrive because of the knowledge that you have, because of the value that people see, like the surrounding you and stuff. So just make sure that you know your numbers so that you can feel even more confident in terms of charging what you charge, knowing where you can offer discounts and where you can't. You get what I'm saying? Like knowing your numbers is a huge part of that, right? And the second bonus tip that I'll give you, of course, is something that I believe ties every single thing that I mentioned previously together, and that's alignment, right? It's always been a part of my messaging to just mention alignment because, and I mean, especially in last year, like alignment was this really intense buzzword and people got tired of it or whatever. But yo, I just believe that, if it is that you are moving forward in business, especially as a solopreneur or anything like that, or as a creative or anything, right? I believe that it's important for you to be so in tune with who you are and in tune with your core and in tune with what makes you tick. You get what I'm saying? Hey, in tune with all of that so that by the time you are trying to create, by the time you are trying to pour out, by the time you're trying to be and showcase that and everything, you're not trying to force yourself into a box. You're not trying to force yourself to fit in just so that person will decide that, hey, like, well, let's work with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's important for you to be so connected with yourself that you accept yourself and are willing to put out your authentic self so that people can get to know the real you and make more informed decisions off that basis. You get me? And so it's important to recognize that alignment then ties in your business, ties into your brand, especially guys, especially your brand, especially personal brands. Like, I mean, I know that we're in the age of influencers and people want to, potentially create like something of a lifestyle that looks like some of these influencers and stuff like that. Like, we get tired. You're gonna get tired trying to be something that you're not, and especially when you're a business owner and you're trying to, hey, especially when you're a business owner and you're trying to, somehow portray something and whatever, like eventually it's gonna catch up to you and eventually people are gonna sniff it out. And you're going to have to do that much more work trying to get them to trust you again to eventually work with you. So why not be authentic from the get-go? Why not recognize that you are valuable? Why not recognize that, hey, you have something to give, you have something bringing to the table that is worth investing in, and allow persons to explore that for themselves. Thank you, same to you. Allow persons to explore that for themselves, so that they can make a more informed decision as to whether or not they want to work with you, because our reality is that if it is sometimes, and we don't recognize it, but sometimes if it is that we take the decision making process out of the hands of those we want to work with and stuff. Thank you. Hey. Well, used to be used to actually work in media and stuff. But yeah, so a reality is that if you take the decision making process out of the hands of your audience and stuff, it means that you're robbing them of the idea or the potential of actually saying, hey, I want to ride with this person. I want to journey with this person. And I know that me saying this doesn't even sound business-esque, but let me tell you, remember, people buy from people. So if they're making that, thanks. If they're making that emotional decision, it means then that they are more willing to potentially be loyal to you. They're more willing to potentially take on those high ticket prices and all of that. You get me? But if it is that you're not willing to be authentic and stuff, then do they even have the power to make that decision? You get me? So saying that to say, so be so aligned with yourself that you are willing to put yourself out there authentically. And then of course, stand right on top of, the fact that, hey, you understand the problem, you can solve their problem, and just show them how. No problem. Have a great night too. Thank you so much for joining. Right. So with that said, guys, let me just go back over the 5 main points, or the 5 key points, and then I'm gonna go back over the bonus points, and then I want to tell you something, right? So first point, again, make sure you have a solid business core. And of course, that's speaking about understanding the problem, recognizing who has the problem, and establishing exactly the solution that you provide. Right. Second thing, of course, letting know who is the problem solver. You are the problem solver. So allow persons to get to know that. And then you as a problem solver, now you are showing them that you understand the problem. You understand who is affected by the problem, and then you have the solution to their problem, right? And then of course, now from that, you build offers that let people know that there's a process that you will take them through to take them from the problem that they're having to the solution. So in essence, from point A to point B, right? Then no, you establish logistics to make sure that your business is operating, efficiently. And then of course, also you establish logistics for your offers so that persons feel served and persons are receiving the requisite information that, they need to then get down that journey, to then get from that point A to that point B, right? And do that efficiently, of course, right? And then also, finally, the final main point, have a digital strategy. Make sure that you are getting your message out there, because it's one thing to have a business, it's one thing to have a brand, it's one thing to have an offer, it's one thing to sort out your logistics. But if people don't know about you, what's going on? You get me? So reality is that it's important for you to, have a digital strategy that literally just has all of that, in the car, pretty much. Like, think of a car. You pack up your car, ready to go on that road trip and stuff. And your digital strategy is that vehicle that carries that message to that destination, carries the message to the person that you want to see that message, or you want to see what you bring to the table. You get what I'm saying? Right? And so those are the 5 main points. And again, I mentioned as a bonus point number 1, make sure you know your numbers, make sure you sort out your business finances and all of that. Right. And I mean, we can say that that's a part of the business core, but I mean, I specifically highlight it with my clients because, I learned the hard way, and I know a lot of other persons who learned the hard way. You got to know your numbers, and knowing your numbers also helps you to be less emotional about how you price your services and how you price your products if you're a product-based business owner, and all of these things. All right, so make sure, right? And in the second bonus point, which I believe glues everything together and should be at the core of just everything you do, is alignment. Make sure that you are so in tune with yourself that you're willing to put yourself out there in an authentic way and stuff, and not do things that are, that don't feel right to you. You get me? Like, There are many other people who do stuff similar to you potentially. I mean, depending on your industry and so. So why not stand out as a unique person who is willing to, stay true to who they are, like legit, right? So saying that to say, guys, like all of these things come together to lay the foundation for my bold experience, the bold experience that I'm inviting you guys to join in on, right? So I literally work with you to help you to streamline all 5 of these areas, right? Now, funny enough, I mean, the bold experience stands for business and brand. So you'll realize I put business and brand in one because they are so intertwined, yet separate, but intertwined, right? And then, of course, you go into your offers, then logistics, and then your digital strategy. So it means that I'm literally working with you to overhaul all of these things. So whether you're, you would be a business owner with, you're already doing your thing, you're already serving clients, or you've already started selling products and stuff. But guess what? You realize that you're stuck. You realize that, hey, you're a bit confused in terms of how to move forward, or you feel like your digital strategy is not working and stuff. Our reality is that even if you're recognizing that your digital strategy isn't working, I still have to go through with you your foundation. I still have to go through with you your business core, your brand core, and all of these things because I believe in everything working in tandem. I believe that you cannot do one without figuring out the other. You get what I'm saying? So that's why we focus on these areas. And I know personally from experience, from as in personal experience, as well as client experiences, as well as experiences of entities I've been associated with, when you sort out these specific areas, that is when you truly start to thrive and you truly start to see a return on your investment in multiple ways. So I'm not even just talking about money, but I'm talking about visibility. I'm talking about building of community. And I'm also talking about, just straight up fine sales, right? So it's important for us to recognize just the importance of paying attention to these areas. And with that said, I want to make sure that you know that I am here to help you through the bold experience. This is exactly why I've created, this and kept it as my signature offer. And I'm making sure that you know that it exists. I'm making sure that you know that I am here to help you to go through all of these areas in a very systematic way, so that, you can literally thrive online, right? And dominate digital. So with that said, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I'm not gonna stay on too long tonight, but I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight, just to talk through these 5 key things that you need for your business foundation. And just know that, hey, I mean, the Digital Dominator Loft is a weekly, don't want to say program, but just a weekly chill spot, where we speak about, just how we can best literally dominate digital and stuff as business owners, as creatives and all of that, because I recognize that, I mean, there's information out there. I mean, a dime a dozen and stuff, but you see, when you're able to get everything for your business in one spot, like, let me tell you that it makes a world of a difference, and so that is definitely my modus operandi, providing you with all the things that you need to for your online business to thrive, whether you are a product-based business owner or, a coach and consultant and stuff. Those are the primary persons I tend to work with. And yeah, I'm looking forward to serving you. I'm looking forward to partnering with you. All right, guys. So with that said, I'm not seeing any questions. I mean, I got a lot of comments and commendations, and thank you guys for so much love this weekend stuff. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Next week, Sunday, we meet same time, same place, unless something else happens or whatever. But yeah, so looking forward to it. And so have a great rest of your Sunday night and have an amazing week. All right, guys, take care.